Hello guys, in this lecture we will try to learn that how we can meet the objective of network lifetime elongation by balancing the energy reduction in non-clustered environment. Guys, in the previous lecture as well we have discussed we have tried to achieve the same objective, but there we have used a greedy load balancing approach. That is greedy we have used a kind of a greedy heuristic approach to balance the load among the sensor node, and that's how we were able to elongate the network lifetime. Here also we are trying to achieve the same objective, but the proposal here contains that instead of any kind of greedy heuristic approach, here we are trying to achieve this particular objective by using the mathematical modeling approach. And for the mathematical modeling approach we have used linear optimization. Fine. So in the progressive slides we will see that how that particular mathematical formulation helps us in in achieving the load balancing, and also in this proposal we have handled the fault tolerance as well. So this is the workflow diagram of the proposed this mathematical formulation based problem, and which we have named as load balancing via mathematical modeling and fault tolerance protocol, LBFTR. So firstly what will happen is that as I have discussed in the previous lecture as well, the first first three steps are the same as I have discussed in the previous lecture as well. Firstly, the network operator deploys the sensor node randomly into the environment, and once the sensor nodes are deployed, then the sync node will broadcast the request message into the environment. Now the sync node firstly, when the sync node will broadcast this message, then the attributes here, the sender ID and the hop count, this sender ID corresponding to the sync node will be 0, and also the hop count of the sync node is considered as 0. So 0, 0 will be the attribute corresponding to the sync node request message. Fine. So the sync node will broadcast this message. The nodes which lies in the direct communication range of the particular sync node, they will receive this message, and once they will receive, they will further broadcast this request message, and that's how this request message is broadcasted or received by all the nodes in the environment. Now after that, the neighbor list is formed corresponding to all the nodes, and the neighbor list with respect to a single node will include the nodes which lie in the communication range of that particular node, which may be one more hop count than this particular ith node, and one less hop count can be it can be possible that there can be many type of nodes, that is, which are having different hop counts. For more details guys, you can refer the previous lecture in which we have discussed this particular concept, that how neighbor lists are formed with the help of graphical representation. And now once the neighbor lists are formed, then the tentative loads are calculated, and once the tentative loads are calculated, then the energy consumption with respect to each sensor node is calculated on a tentative basis, because this is not the actual load, this is kind of the tentative load on the which we have calculated on the behalf of this particular neighbor list. And once these step 5 is performed, then the next step, that is lifetime, is calculated corresponding to all the nodes. And after this lifetime is calculated, then we have defined the mathematical formulation here to finally select the parent node, and this parent node selection is done in such a manner that at the end, once the parent nodes are selected, then the situation will be that all the nodes are getting almost similar load, and that's how we will see that how these parent nodes are selected by using these particular lifetime value and the energy consumption value. And once the parents are selected corresponding to all the nodes, then the sensing and communication of the data towards the base station will take place. Fine. And after that okay, and during the parent node selection is we have used this particular equation to finally select the parent node. So Pij, we will see that how this particular this variable is utilized further. So this condition for the Pij's is its value is equals to 1 if Si selects Sj as its next row and 0 otherwise, and the summation of Pij over j should be equals to 1 where Si belongs to Sh, that is set of the sensor node at hop count h, and Sj belongs to Sh minus 1. So as I have discussed that once the neighbor list is formed, then corresponding to all the nodes this particular load value is calculated, and this is calculated using this particular formula. And what this equation says that 1 plus 1 is the load corresponding to the node itself, and this is the amount of load that the node is receiving from the other nodes, and where Pij is showing the probability. And the condition on Pij we have discussed earlier in the previous slide, and where Si and Sj are defined like this, and this is this tau Ij is showing the zeta I is showing the energy consumption, and here this is the equation with respect to the radio model. And here what we have made the changes are that here we are multiplying this particular the energy consumption value with the particular incoming load. So on the basis of incoming load, the energy consumption is calculated, and it is subjected to the condition that if Dij is less than the D threshold, this particular value is defined in the simulation experiment. And so this equation will give as a whole the total energy consumption. And once the energy consumption is calculated corresponding to all the nodes, then lifetime value is calculated. And what this equation says that lifetime will be initial energy and the energy consumption. So what it will give us, that it will give us the the lifetime corresponding to a node in terms of rounds, that is for how many rounds this particular node is going to be alive. So once the value of lifetime is calculated, then to achieve the objective, that is to elongate the network lifetime at the max, so we have formulated a network lifetime formulation based problem, and which uses linear programming problem. And what it says that we will try to minimize 1 hour lifetime, or in other words what we can say that we will try to maximize the lifetime of the node which is having minimum lifetime. Fine. And here it is subjected to the condition that Pij should be greater than equals to 0. What this equation means that all the node will have, each node will have a particular a parent node, and what this equation says that summation of Pij is equals to 1. What this equation says, it says that at the end whole incoming data on the ith node should be transferred onto its parent nodes. So this is the whole idea to calculate the Pij values. And what it will give us, that Pij is basically showing that how the parent nodes are selected, and it will basically give us that that's how we have balance the load values. And that's how the parent nodes are selected, and now the sensing of the data and transmission towards the base station will take place. And now after some duration of sensing, when the parent node of few child nodes are about to die, then there is a need that the child node will change their parent node, so that the packet delivery packet delivery towards the base station will keep going at the same rate. So that no packet loss will be there, and the burden on the parent node should be removed. So to achieve this, what we have done is we have applied the fault tolerance, and what we will say is that suppose ith is the child node whose parent node is about to die in some time. So we have to change the parent node of this particular node, and how it will select its parent node. It will select that particular kth node as its parent node whose residual energy is maximum among the parent node of this particular ith node, and the parent node should be should lie into the one less hop count, so that here also we have tried to if we are maintaining this equation that parent node should be one less hop count, so in this way we have also tried to minimize that particular delay parameter as well, because we are not going away from the base station, we are going towards the base station, we are selecting the parent towards the base station, right? So that's how the whole proposal is working, and these are the simulation results with respect to this proposed method, and these are the simulation results. The first graph is with respect to the packet delivery ratio with respect to sensing time, which we have measured in terms of rounds, and as we can see that as the time progresses in terms of round, and the packet delivery ratio corresponding to the proposed approach, which is shown using dark green dotted, it is showing higher performance than the its competitor approach. And if we number of dead nodes, the second graph is with respect to the number of dead nodes versus sensing time. Here also we can see that the number of dead nodes are very less as compared to the rest of the approaches. So in this way the proposed approach is outperforming in terms of packet delivery ratio, number of dead nodes. Also if we measure the packet delivery ratio in terms of net 50% packet delivery ratio, there also the proposed approach is working fine and doing well. And also if we measure the first node depth, half node depth, and the last node depth parameter value as well, there also the proposed approach is working fine. And so thank you.